It was somewhere around 1925, or actually somewhere around 1909. I owned the Renault factory, whatever, and I had people come. I think dignitaries, other people, people from around the world, and I wanted them. I think I might have wanted help on a project or whatever, or wanted to do something. I forget exactly, but it shows it that they did come. Anyway, I wanted to create a new kind of car, a not just the normal like like what I was saying is I don't want to. We've done all these cars, and I had done all these cars and everything else like that, but I wanted to kick it up to a new level. I wanted to create a new car, and I think I might have needed money. I don't know. I'm not exactly sure. I think I might have had. I forget the exact details, but anyway, somewhere around 1909 or whatever, I want to create a new car, a really good car, not just the normal kind of like rattle traps that were around, but and I think I might have needed roads or something. I don't know. Anyway, though, but anyway, people came to see my factory and everything else like that, and I was starting my team to create this new kind of car, which would be mass produced like crazy. I think before 1918 something or other, cars weren't really mass produced; they were just made or whatever. But anyway, I wanted to create this new kind of car, but pretty much, basically, DeLorean actually came out in 1925 or 19. Well, yeah, no, I'm probably starting anyway though. Somewhere around 1923 or whatever. The DeLoreans first hit the market, basically, or first were produced, and I think they were too expensive or something like that. I don't really remember, but basically, we built the first DeLorean somewhere around there, I believe, and and people saw them, and it was a revolutionary idea or design, and they were really expensive, of course. They were like $100,000 or something like that, equivalently. I forget exactly. Things get confusing after that because that's when they first came out. Of course, 1925. Well, anyway, though, but I started with all these groups. Anyway, though, but basically, you can see the DeLorean in Popular Mechanics, 1925 or 1928 or so. It was being sold. And then later on in 1960, 1970 or whatever, I wanted to redo it, and I wanted to do it again. And I was going with, I believe, fiberglass bodies. Anyway, it gets all confusing, but because I think the original one, I mean, I created a lot of cars. I did the air conditioning on the first car, the B, whatever, that became Bentley, basically, or something like that. It was an air conditioned car with roll up windows. Very expensive, like the equivalent of $100,000. It was a really expensive car, but it was really nice, and it really ran. So, and I think it might have had solid rubber tires or something like that. Yeah, they sold really well. People loved them, but mostly just like groups of people could buy them and stuff. But anyway, though, I mass produced those, and it just gets all confusing because later on I invent flight and everything else like that. But basically in 1970 was the remade um, uh, what's called DeLorean. I guess maybe it came out in like 1940. I don't know, 1938. It gets kind of confusing because there's so much other stuff and stuff. And I was making a lot. I made a lot of money off of them. I mean, they sold like crazy, and they actually rusted out and were taken to the scrapyard as the big cars were in. And everybody was going with big cars, big engines, and this and that. And basically, my harder to build, smaller car was kind of like swoosh to the sidelines. And I create all this and all that kind of stuff, but they're just sheet metal and pieces of junk. Anyway, and then I wanted to get back to the nice, clean, new age car with maybe even airbags or something like that. And that's where we get into the 1970 DeLorean. And starting on my next project, which is basically, and also the real big hurdle of moving to a fiberglass body, which is like fiberglass resin. I mean, I think I had the polyurethane resin left over from the propeller project because we used to do propellers, and I was doing better glues for the propellers, and those are in the old RAF days. We had to come up with a better glue rather than just wood glue because it would just fall apart. And anyway, so that's where we actually started creating this gooey stuff that was basically polyurethane glue for the propellers. Or, because I think also propellers broke or something like that. We're running out of big trees or something because the propellers used to be made from one tree. Anyway, and I thought about maybe making a composite, what's called a propeller, out of pieces. Maybe that would be just as strong. So anyway, so they start doing that kind of stuff and they actually get it or whatever. And they do a pretty good job because before propellers were just one big piece of wood, but that's expensive and it's cheaper to use pieces of wood. Anyway, so I think I bring the cost of propellers down quite a bit, or something like that, somewhere around in there. And then so like I say, I think we get some plastic stuff and we get into the carbon fiber and plastics, and that happens. It doesn't really happen. I mean, technically it bankrupted me because it was so expensive. But technically I started making boats out of it and some other stuff. I think I commissioned some fiberglass boats. But then, we get into the war and the whole Nixon and the King of Men lie and all that other stuff. And they're trying to get rid of me and all that. So anyway, though, and they want to kill me or something, I don't know. It gets all confusing, and there ends up being a giant world war over it because, I've been basically the leader of the earth for so long, and people love me and I've led them this far, and they don't really want to let go of me, because I love them and they love me, and I'm also the creator of 800 Galaxies and of all these other races and stuff. So anyway, it ends up being this big war because Nixon, JFK, and some other people want to kill me. And I don't want to die. And they're just planning on killing everyone anyway, right after they kill me. So it's like they plan to kill me and then lie about me being alive or dead. And then they plan to kill everyone else to prevent anyone from ever helping me or saving me, because I am the creator of 800 Galaxies. And once people know that, then, or whatever. But anyway, they found me anyway, so it doesn't really even matter. But, because, Rodney was like, well, where are they? It's like, well, they're around. I guess eventually. He's like, prove it. It's like, it was a long time ago. How do I prove it? Anyway, though, and I told him my name anyway, Lucifer anyway, although I didn't say the rest of it, just Lucifer. So, anyway, though, but my last name's Star, or White Star, so, anyway, I am me, so, anyway, though, so, then a bunch of people, they want to come up, they want to do Exponential Existence, and King of Men, and I own your country, so submit to me, baby, and they do that, and it's like, so not leader material. It's like, they're not leaders. They haven't financed. They don't. They don't care. They're just like gun in your face, just like or knife right here, just like taking a knife. They're like, call to your God, call. Like beg your God for forgiveness or whatever, or beg your God for mercy, and if he comes and saves you, blah blah, and then they people's throats. And he's doing this in Germany and Europe, and he goes up to people and he even says, well, your God's not here, but I'm right here. And he does this in Germany a lot.